Hey everyone, my name is Jenna and I am here doing a quick little tutorial. I just wanted to give a little bit of advice now that we are in these crazy times of COVID-19. I thought it would be a good idea to kind of go over how the job market has changed a little bit. Most of the interviews that I have gone on have been either FaceTime interviews or Zoom interviews, and that changes things quite a bit in my opinion. If you generally excel in interpersonal, like actually in person to person interview, Zoom can be quite a bit different and it's a little bit harder to read. So I thought I would give you my thoughts on my current experiences with Zoom interviews. I recently had one yesterday that I thought went really well. What the most important thing to do is with any interview, but specifically with the Zoom interview, is you need to prepare. You need to know the company that you're interviewing for. I generally go on their website and try to read it backwards and forwards and backwards until I have a clear understanding. I mean, I take notes, I do a little outline of, what the company is about, who the founder CEO is, when it started, their, company mission, if they have one, what they actually do, each aspect of what they do. And just that sort of thing. I also like to write down questions that I have that I want to ask at the end of the interview. I find that a lot of people skip that part when somebody asks, do you have any questions for me? People are like, no, I think I'm good. I find that asking questions actually works to your favor because it shows not only are you serious and interested, but that you kind of have an idea of what you're looking for, which is an attractive quality for an employer. They don't want someone wishy-washy who doesn't know what they want or what they think. One other tip I find quite helpful is to have a list of your skills handy. It's easy to think of all of your skills, but if somebody asks you a question and you have to rattle off the top of your head, you can fumble, and you don't want to do that. You want to sound articulate, you want to be prepared, you want to sound, like you have no issue answering the question whatsoever. I do find that a lot of interviewers like to throw out some oddball questions, and my advice is just to research, random oddball questions online and think of your answer. Think of what you would answer in that situation. Don't just copy what you see on different websites of acceptable answers to common interview questions, because those are canned answers. I mean, it's almost like plagiarism. It's almost like turning in a plagiarized paper for college. You don't want to give them an answer that's just verbatim from Google. You want something thoughtful, that's particular to you, and that most importantly is going to make you look attractive to their organization, i.e., how are you going to fit in over others? Another thing that I thought would be good to go over in general are just things that you should ask at the end of an interview. Common things that I like to ask are, am I replacing anybody? If so, is there going to be a training period? Do they offer benefits? If so, what type of benefits do they offer? What kind of pay range? I mean, depending on the interview, if this is just a fill you out interview and then you're supposed to have a second interview, I think waiting to talk about money is probably better to do in a second interview. Good question to ask is when you want, or when they want the position to begin, when you're expected to start, if there's room for advancement. Those are all really important things. One thing I like to hammer home is that my personal philosophy as a manager is that I'm always looking for at least one person on my team that I can groom to take my place should I have an opportunity for advancement. And that usually gets pretty good responses as well. One difficult thing about it being on Zoom is you might not be this close. You might be like, for instance, my Zoom meeting I could tell I was on the other end of conference room. The person I was interviewing with was at the end of a long table, and I could barely see his facial expressions. I got him to smile, I got him to laugh a couple of times, and we had a really good rapport. But you never know. You never know. So I'm still waiting to hear back on that. I hope to update with good news on that, because I do feel like that interview went really well. I started to second guess myself afterwards, but to be honest, it's best to go with your gut instinct. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but I feel good knowing that I was very prepared for this meeting, that I, had a bunch of skills laid out that I could just rattle off. And then the best thing to do is give examples of situations in the past that have been successful for you. Try to focus on the most difficult ones. They're going to ask you something like, give me an example of a difficult customer, or, let's just say customer for now. A difficult customer that you had to deal with and how you handled that situation. Or give me an example on how you resolved a workplace issue to the best of your ability. Give examples like that. Think really hard and try to have a prepared answer for that, or something like that. They're going to ask you questions to kind of gauge your psychological standpoint, so keep that in mind as well. I know this is getting a little bit all over the place. I usually like things to be quite organized, but I just kind of sat down on the fly here and decided to make a quick little video because this was on my mind. Please feel free to leave me any comments or questions down below. I will respond, or you can also DM me. I'm definitely going to be responding to those as well. So please subscribe if you're interested. This is mostly going to be a makeup tutorial channel. Don't judge me for how I look right now. This is not, I didn't get ready really. This is nothing really. This is just a little bit of eye makeup basically, and lip gloss. So I do plan on doing makeup, but I thought it would be nice to include a little bit of Zoom tutorial-ish type deal, given the current climate and how unemployment is skyrocketing, and it's kind of becoming a scary place right now. So that's it. Thank you so much for listening, and again, hit that subscribe button and feel free to let me know what you think. Hope you have a wonderful day, and goodbye.